Sigma males are known for their intelligence, independence, and resilience. They don't follow the crowd, they don't seek validation, and they don't waste time on meaningless pursuits. On the surface, they seem unstoppable. But what if I told you that the biggest thing holding Sigma males back is their own mind? It's not society, it's not other people, it's not a lack of skill or opportunity. It's the mental traps they don't even realize they're caught in. See, Sigma males have a way of thinking that sets them apart, but that same mindset can work against them if they're not careful. They become so focused on being self-sufficient, so determined to be untouchable, that they don't see the invisible chains they've placed on themselves. These aren't just minor obstacles. These mental traps can keep Sigma males stuck for years, making them second-guess their path, hesitate when they should act, and isolate themselves when they should be building strategic alliances. And the worst part? They don't even realize it's happening. Today, we're diving deep into the biggest mental traps that keep Sigma males stuck, and more importantly, how to break free from them. Because the only thing more powerful than a Sigma male is a Sigma male who's freed his own mind. 1. The lone wolf delusion. Sigma males pride themselves on their independence. They don't rely on others, they don't seek validation, and they definitely don't play by society's rules. They walk alone, not because they have to, but because they choose to. And at first glance, that sounds like strength. But here's the problem. Being independent doesn't mean you have to be isolated, and that's exactly where many Sigma males fall into one of the biggest mental traps, believing they must do everything alone. Think about the most successful people in history. Nikola Tesla, he had backers like George Westinghouse. Bruce Lee, he had mentors and trained with legends. Steve Jobs, he built Apple with Steve Wozniak. None of these people walked their paths completely alone. They had allies, collaborators, and people who helped sharpen their skills and open doors. But Sigma males? They often reject help, even when it's genuinely offered. They convince themselves that asking for assistance is a sign of weakness, that relying on others makes them dependent. And what happens? They burn out trying to do everything themselves. They miss out on opportunities because they refuse to network. They stay stuck because they don't seek guidance or feedback. This is why so many Sigma males struggle in silence. They have the intelligence, the drive, and the discipline, but they keep themselves cut off from the very resources that could help them level up. There's nothing wrong with walking your own path, but walking alone just for the sake of it, that's not strength, that's ego. Sigma males need to stop treating every relationship like a threat to their freedom, because the truth is, the right people won't control you. They'll empower you. They'll challenge your thinking. They'll push you to be better. They'll help you reach levels you can't reach alone. So if you're a Sigma male stuck in this trap, ask yourself, are you truly independent or are you just avoiding growth? Because no matter how strong you are, you'll never reach your full potential if you refuse to let the right people in. 2. The perfectionist prison. Sigma males hold themselves to insanely high standards. They don't settle for average. They don't accept mediocrity. And they definitely don't half-ass anything they do. At first, this mindset seems like an advantage. And in some ways, it is. Sigma males are meticulous, detail-oriented, and always striving for excellence. But there's a dark side to this. Perfectionism becomes a mental prison. Sigma males often delay action because they feel like they're not fully ready. They won't start a business until they have every skill mastered. They won't ask someone out until they're completely confident. They won't take risks until every factor is under their control. And guess what happens? Nothing. Because perfectionism is just a sophisticated form of procrastination. It tricks Sigma males into believing they're being smart by waiting. But in reality, they're just avoiding failure. No matter how much you prepare, there will always be uncertainty. No plan is perfect. No strategy is flawless. No move is guaranteed to succeed. And that's why the most successful people aren't the ones who wait until they're fully ready. They're the ones who start, adapt, and improve as they go. They learn by doing, not by overanalyzing. They make mistakes, but they adjust fast. They move forward before they feel fully prepared. Sigma males need to understand that perfectionism isn't protecting them. It's trapping them. Every second spent overanalyzing is a second not spent making progress. Sigma males must shift their mindset from "it has to be perfect" to "it has to get started." Because in the real world, taking imperfect action beats waiting for perfection. Learning from mistakes beats trying to avoid them. Making progress beats overthinking every move. If you're a Sigma male stuck in this mental trap, ask yourself, how much time have you wasted preparing instead of actually doing? Because at some point, you're either taking action or just making excuses. 3. The "I don't need anyone" fallacy. Sigma males are known for their self-sufficiency. They don't rely on others, don't follow the crowd, and don't need constant validation. But there's a problem. Many Sigma males take this too far, to the point where they start believing that they don't need anyone at all. And that's where they fall into one of the most damaging mental traps: the belief that relationships, friendships, and connections are distractions rather than essential parts of life. At first, this mindset feels empowering. You don't waste time on fake friendships. You don't get caught up in drama. You don't depend on others to feel fulfilled. And for a while, this works. You move in silence. You stay focused. You build your own world, free from distractions. But then something happens. You start feeling disconnected. You realize success feels empty if you have no one to share it with. You notice that isolation doesn't just protect you from bad people, it also cuts you off from the good ones. You start questioning if you're really free or just lonely. Because here's the truth, even the most independent man still needs human connection. There's a huge difference between being independent and being completely alone. Independence means you can handle life on your own, but you don't have to. Isolation means you refuse to let anyone in, even when it would make your life better. Sigma males often push people away, not because they don't care, but because they fear being let down, controlled, or manipulated. But in doing so, they also reject the meaningful connections that could actually make them stronger. Sigma males don't have to be social butterflies. They don't need to force friendships or surround themselves with people they don't respect. But they do need to recognize that relationships, the right ones, are not weaknesses. They're assets. A strong network opens doors to new opportunities. A real friendship provides emotional support without controlling you. A trusted mentor can help you avoid mistakes that would take years to fix alone. The key is to be selective, not reclusive. Find people who align with your values, who respect your independence, and who bring value to your life. Because at the end of the day, true Sigma strength isn't about walking alone. It's about knowing when to walk with the right people. Sigma males are some of the most mentally resilient individuals. They think differently, move differently, and live by their own rules. But even the strongest minds can become their own worst enemies. The lone wolf delusion keeps them stuck, refusing help they actually need. The perfectionist prison stops them from taking action, trapping them in endless preparation. The "I don't need anyone" fallacy isolates them, cutting them off from the connections that could make them even stronger. The truth? These mental traps don't just hold Sigma males back, they sabotage their full potential. The good news? Every single one of these traps has a way out. Learn to leverage the right people without losing your independence. Take imperfect action instead of waiting for the perfect moment. Stay self-sufficient, but recognize that true strength doesn't mean walking completely alone. Because the biggest battle a Sigma male will ever fight isn't against the world, it's against his own mind. And the ones who win, they're not just strong, they're unstoppable.